So, thanks for joining us again. I have got the opportunity to speak with Beau Borders, driver of the #1 Life's Good Racing Mitsubishi Lancer. Thanks for coming in and talking to us today.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. So what I want to know today is your journey. How did you become a race car driver? What's the history?
How did I?
Give us a little bit.
For me, racing is something that happened way before I was born. My father always raced cars and motorcycles. So he's been a huge support system, a huge advocate. My mother, awesome advocate. I mean, it wasn't my fault. She actually went into labor while on the back of my father's motorcycle.
This explains, yeah.
That explains a lot. So I was one of those little kids at the racetrack, was full of grease and climbing trees and jumping over the wall when I was way too young and working on my dad's car. So I had the bug at an early age. Okay. And I think that's just the classic way to get into racing is if you're around it when you're a kid, once it's in you, racing it's with you forever.
So great, yeah. So obviously around the track, and when did you get your competitions license? Were you a go-kart person? Did you go through the go-kart series, or did you just where did you begin?
I wish I was a go-kart person. Okay. My father, my father always says if you want to race cars, you got to grow up and get a job. So I did, and I started working in Hollywood in the film industry, and as I progressed in the film industry, I got into racing, typical racing school, get your amateur license, race some terrifying race cars for a while, but it's all I could afford. Okay. It was race cars and ramen noodles. That's pretty much what my life revolved around for years and years. Eventually I got into open wheel cars. I got into Formula Mazdas mostly on the East Coast, and I love them. I love open wheel racing. Okay. But then here and there I started to drive some touring car type things, GT1 cars. I've driven a little bit of everything. I wanted to race close to home, and I found the US Touring Car Series, which is, or the US Touring Car Championship, which is mostly on the West Coast. Okay. And so, rather than getting on an airplane to go racing, now I can just get off work and zip to the racetrack. I found Life's Good Racing 2 seasons ago. They put me in a BMW.
Which you did spectacular in, winning a series last year.
Did we?
You did.
Did we win the championship? Yes. Us? How about that?
In the BMW, but no BMW this year.
No BMW. Well, they had a Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art, and I saw how quick the car was, and I also heard a lot of how different it is to drive that car. Okay. It's all-wheel drive. It's turbocharged. It's all weird, and I want to be the kind of driver that can jump into anything.
Okay.
So when I learned about what it takes to drive this car, I got really excited because it's bonkers. It is like you use your left foot to hit the brakes. When you want to be slowing down, you actually get on the throttle. It's a lot of things of it are just inherently backwards. Yeah. Everything in your brain says that a wall is coming closer and closer and closer. You should be slowing down, but actually, you're switching what foot is on the brake pedal and applying throttle. That takes a little time to get used to, and I like that. It's different, it's hard, it's weird, and when you do it right, it's very gratifying. You just launch out of corners and drive around people, and it is fun.
And in this series, unlike a lot of different series, we have standing starts. And so, four-wheel drive standing start, a little bit of an edge?
A little bit of an edge. But don't tell anybody. Because, hey, it's an edge. I don't want them to know. Yeah. I just want them to be sitting there on the line just scratching their heads, wondering, why did I drive around them?
Where did he go? That's right. So, you mentioned Life Good Racing, Arrive, Drive. They're a great team to be a part of. So United States Touring Car Championship, you like it?
It's the place to be. Yeah. I mean, it is absolutely, to get into a professional series without having to take out a second mortgage on your home is a rarity. It's very, very hard to race at this level in something that's affordable. And that's what USTCC does better than any professional series out there, absolutely.
Great. Well, we're happy to have you back for a second year. Good luck in that Lancer, and we'll talk to you through the season.
Thanks. I think I qualified in about 4 minutes, so I should probably go find my helmet.